The Alpha Sessions Live with Emma Joyce.
I'm Emma and this is the Alpha Sessions, and we are here with Taxi Joe. Hello. How did Taxi Joe get together?
It's funny because we've got like sort of, there's two sections, there's two like histories, if you like, to Taxi Joe. Because obviously I'm just a third of it, I'm just the Joe bit, but then the rest of us, you know, there's three of us normally. Me and Louis, the drummer, met at school. We played together at school. We were in the same music tech class. In fact, we were the music tech class.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were just sort of the only two kids that liked playing blues music in the school. And when we left, we kind of ran into David. I happened upon him through busking I used to busk on the South Bank.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, so I sort of met David randomly through that, and we had a jam, and then and we ended up kind of playing together for a bit. But we had a lot of fun, and we were kind of like a kind of bluesy Americana kind of it was a bit poppy, and it was cool, and we had a right laugh. But then we kind of took it into different directions. I was a comedian for about 5 years.
Amazing.
And
that sounds like the scariest job in the world.
Yeah, well, I was in a comedy boy band, right? So there was three of us in that as well, I know. And so we were like these young kind of 20-something guys who were just like showing up at a comedy night. So all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, well, you're going to make us laugh. Like, what do you know about life, you know? And we're all done up like a boy band. So we used to come on stage like we were going to have a fight. And it was quite an intense, crazy show. So yeah, that was fun. But then after that, I did like this. I ran a play. I wrote and directed this play in Brighton. And Louis was off doing like he's a sound audio whiz.
Okay.
And David was playing in loads of different bands. And then I had this concussion, and I was hospitalised with a head injury. Yeah, and I was out of it for like 2.5 weeks. I was in hospital. And it looked like everyone, I mean, I didn't know what was going on. I was in my head like normal, me, but the rest of my body just wasn't doing as it was told. It was really scary, and everyone thought I was going to die. And I'm in my head going, no, I'm all right, you know. So I think I just resolved at that point, was like, okay, let's stop messing around here. Life's too short. Let's just, whatever happens, let's just do what we want to do with our lives, and I wanted to make music. So I rang the guys up and said, look, let's play again, you know, let's get together. Nice. And it kind of happened there. And then this is this whole new chapter where I feel like the songs are better, we're more in tune, and we've just got this driving force now, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So how has lockdown affected you guys as a band?
I just really want to get in a room and be loud. I just it hurts my heart. Like David, the bass player, has been learning new instruments and stuff, and kind of expanding his mind and getting good, because he's the professor of the band, right? Like he
there's always one.
Like, yes, exactly. He's the mad professor. He like knows how music works, which I don't know, but
surely you do.
I mean, I'm all about how it feels, and kind of that's it really. What it means and how it feels. David is like, what actually is it? And Louis is like the bedrock that just holds us all together. He's amazing.
Oh.
And honestly, they're like my closest friends. We've been you know, together and stuff for years. So it's a real family job now.
Yeah.
But Louis just had a kid, talking of family. So right on top of lockdown, he's just had a baby. Whoa. And so I think that's kind of taken up all his time at the moment anyway. So
so a nice convenient break, I guess, to a certain extent.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And you play quite a bit on your own as well in some of the gigs. And you've obviously come on here because of the whole lockdown situation on your own. Is that because, like, how come that happens? Is that because you guys choose to sometimes have you on your own and sometimes not, or logistically it's not possible, or?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be down to the songs, possibly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. They sort of, because I'm never happier than when I'm on stage with those two.
Yeah.
Smashing out the songs at full throttle and just having this conversation with the audience. That's kind of where I'm my happy place.
Because I
But
think
like,
you do both, so.
Yeah, it's great. So I gig a lot on my own as well. I go around the pubs chanking out covers all weekend.
Yeah.
2-hour gigs all over the outskirts of London and stuff. And that's actually fed into the Taxi Joe style, because we used to be a little bit more involved with all the lead lines, and now it's just like smash it as hard as you can. I think because the songs are the lyrics are quite involved as well. I think they kind of lend themselves to those singer-songwritery kind of gigs as well, where you can kind of pull back the throttle maybe a little bit and kind of get to know the song in a different way.
Bit more stripped back.
Yeah, I guess so.
So
people keep thinking I'm Taxi Joe as well. Which I am Joe, but I'm not the band. Like, there is three of us.
I'm not paying that, 'cause that's too dear. Paint tag the wall, the artist was here. The roof came down 'cause we're 6 points clear, and none of this will matter in a couple of years. Jump out the teacup, nobody cares. This may be that, maybe leave it all there. Lining up twos by the door of the train like it's D-Day. And we say, I'm in the spotlight. I'll make a beeline for the tree line. I'm in the straight line. I'll make a beeline for the night. Okay, but all this time strangers seem so strange. Jim gear rusting out in the shed, over and over when somebody said, watching it quietly ruin your day on the home train. No way, I'm in the spotlight. I'll make a beeline for the tree line. I'm in the straight line. I'll make a beeline for the night. I'm in the spotlight. I'll make a beeline for the tree line. For the tree line. I'm in the straight line. I'll make a beeline for the night. Okay, but all this time strangers seem so strange.
The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
Talk to me about the writing process a little bit. How does it work in terms of when you guys think up an idea? What's the involvement between you and the band?
So writing, I've always been quite prolific. I've been playing guitar since I was 7. I should be better than I am, for how long I've been playing. But as soon as I knew 3 chords, I started writing songs. So I started writing songs when I was 7. I think that's how I make sense of the world and the stuff that happens to me. And that's it's therapy. So I'm always coming up with ideas for songs. Usually we sit down together and we write stuff, and someone will have a riff, and we can do it that way. But what tends to happen sort of 80-90% of the time is I come and I say, look, this is the basic structure. I've got words and melody, and we can underpin it with these chords, but they don't have to be these chords. Do you know what I mean? And the guys just sort of pull the thing apart and just say, we don't need that. We don't want that. That's good. Okay, we'll put this together, and that's good. Yeah. And then they kind of become something else. And it is very much, I've had to kind of swallow the ego over the years and kind of go, but this is my song, But sometimes 2 or 3 songs get stripped and then turned into one song. And it's kind of, it's got to, our aim is to kind of just get to the emotion as quickly as possible, you know, make the audience feel it as quickly as possible. And so it's always, and it's got to be like passionate. So
otherwise there's no point.
We don't have, sorry?
Otherwise there's no point.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's like, we've in the past, we've had songs that were like, you know, 5-6 minutes long and they take their time building it. And we like that kind of stuff. There's some stuff that we do, like there's a song called Just we do where it's just each line is it's just something, and it just keeps building and building and building and building and building into this kind of climax, and there's no kind of structure or chorus, or, you know, there's no beginning, middle and end. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And we love all that kind of stuff because it's like it's just pure emotion. But like often it's like, let's get to that chorus, because that chorus is the bit where you're going to punch the air and you're going to feel really good and you're just going to have an amazing time. So a lot of songs are just get in, get out, and people go, you know, well, that's the aim anyway. That's the plan.
And you also produce them all yourselves and direct all the videos as well. Is that intentional? Is that because you just thought it would be easier to head that creative direction? Have you always been able to do that, or is it like a learning thing?
Yeah, I don't know. We're lucky. We've got like a good team around us. So we work with a guy called Aaron Truss, who does our like visuals and like videos and online material and stuff. And he's like really close with the band. And so we kind of work with him. Like, so it's batting and balling. Like, it's in terms of like, if the band were just about videos, he's in the band. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And we just recorded an album with a guy called Ollie Joss Lee, who's an amazing bass player and a great producer. And he's awesome. And check him out. He's in a band called Barbarella's Bang Bang, actually, which are. But yeah, so we just recorded this album with him, and we did it in 4 days. I was quite proud of that. But he was present in rehearsals leading up to it, so we kind of, you know, we do it ourselves, but we have help. You know, I'm not gonna say that we're that great, but yeah, I think we like to have a handle because before, like when we were younger and we were playing the kind of Americana thing, we were with a management label that kind of steered us in certain directions that we didn't even understand why we were going in certain directions, and we didn't feel like we had any control over it. And now we don't know what the direction is. It's like in terms of where we're going to go in the industry or whatever. We know what we want to sound like, and we know what we want to look like, and we just want to make that happen.
So would you say it was more organic?
Yeah. It's happened over because since we got back together, or I say got back together, since we fired up the band again, there's been this shift. Like we started off in a certain place musically, and the way we dressed, and it's not even like we're sitting down going, this is the look and this is the, you know, it's just like we've kind of we've grown into it. You know, it's become what feels good. Yeah. You know, there's a bit where it just that feels really good. Let's just do more of that. You know.
So important, though. So important. And your track also featured in the Rob Knox documentary. Talk to us a bit about that.
Oh yeah, this was a big love job. So that was last year for us. That was like the big project last year because
for people that don't know, who is Rob Knox?
All right, yeah. So Rob Knox was a young actor who died 12 years ago. He was stabbed in a knife attack. He was a friend. He was a friend of mine and Aaron's. We knew him through, you know, being into like arts and stuff. And he was actually in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And he just finished shooting that, and then like a matter of weeks later, he was killed. And so the documentary kind of talks about him and who he was, and it kind of follows the story of what happened, but it also like looks at where we're at now with regards to like knife violence in the UK, and obviously it's still ramping up, and it's still a huge problem, like even more so than back when Rob died. It's still 12 years later, it's still a problem, and no one, it doesn't seem to have been fixed. And so the documentary really drills into that and tries to sort of look at who are trying to help, and rather than who's to blame, like how can this be stopped, and we were asked to do the soundtrack, which we'd never done before, and it really actually helped us as a band to kind of express our sound more like musically, because we found that we were like getting a lot out of very little. You can get loads of emotion out of just, you don't have to play a million notes to get to the point, and just the way you play stuff can change. You can play the same thing in 3 different ways and it becomes this different 100%. Thing.
100%.
Yeah, it was a really awesome experience. Ollie produced that as well, and that was kind of how we got to working with Ollie. And I feel like I want to do another one now. I want to do another film.
That was going to be my next question. Do you think you guys want to move more into like the soundtrack scoring type vibe, or has that given you a bit of a taste for it?
Do you know what? If I could spend 6 months doing a soundtrack, or even 3 months doing a soundtrack, and then 3 months doing a Take the Joe album, and then another 3 months doing a soundtrack, and another 3 months doing a Take, and I just do that forever, I'll be happy as Larry.
It was great to have you in session, and you did an awesome Benny and the Jets cover by Elton John. Is Elton John a big inspiration of yours?
Yeah, that's kind of why I did it, because I knew obviously we were going to be talking about influences and stuff.
Yeah.
I've only played that. I've never done Elton John songs before, but he's like the whole point, the whole reason why I wanted to play music. Like, I knew the words to Ballad of Danny Bailey before I knew Wincy Wincy Spider. And I kind of.
Were your parents into Elton John? Is that why?
Yeah, my dad. Yeah, massively. And so I had this little cassette that we used to play in the car, and I just sing along, and that's probably how I learned to speak, actually.
That's amazing.
Which is so weird, because we're nothing like, as a band, and the sort of style of music we play is nothing. I wouldn't say you couldn't really listen to that and go, oh yeah, that's clearly influenced by Elton John. But I think just for me, it's the relationship between words and melody, and I've been trying to do, because I obviously do the pubs and stuff, play covers in pubs. I've been kind of experimenting with playing a few covers. I've never played Benny and the Jets before, so I thought, let's have that one a go.
That's a great one.
Yeah, I quite liked it.
Shake it loose together, spotlights heading something that's been known to change the weather. We'll kill the fatty cock tonight, so stick around. Oh, you're gonna hear electric music, solid walls of sound. Say, can you roll? Have you seen them yet? Oh, but the show slays down. Benny and the Jets. Oh, but the wind and the wonderful old band, she's a really keen. She's got electric boots, a molly suit, I already did a magazine. Oh, Benny and the Jets. Hey kids, plug into the fatalist. Maybe a little blind there, but Benny makes them ageless. We shall survive, let us take ourselves along, where we fight our parents out in the streets and see who's right and who's wrong. Oh, can you only have lays down. Benny and the Jets. Oh, but the weight and the wonderful. Oh, baby, she's a really king. She's gotta let you lose. I'm always soon. You know I read it in the magazine. Oh, Benny and the Jets. Benny and the Jets. She's got electric boots, a mama suit, you know I read it in the magazine. Oh, Benny, Benny, Benny and the Jets. Benny and the Jets.
The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
Who else would you say were your influences?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, personally, Oasis were like huge when I was growing up and learning the guitar. But then like Billy Joel, Squeeze. So lots of bands from like an artist from like the 80s, late 70s, 80s, Elvis Costello. But then like, I don't know, because I was into Craig David when it came out, and right, and Daniel Bedingfield, and
Nice and eclectic.
yeah, I mean, but like I was banging into that garage stuff when it was all out. I was like, this is the stuff, you know. I say garage, that was more R&B, I suppose, for any aficionados.
UK garage.
yeah, that was more R&B, you know. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's obviously everyone likes to say, "Oh, I listen to everything," you know. But if it's got a good melody and heart, then I'm into it. Like, you know.
Obviously, you're in lockdown at the moment. Are you living on your own?
I'm living with my wife.
Oh, with your wife. Okay. So, what kind of
Things are
music
good.
have you guys been listening to? I'm assuming that music is in the house or flat.
Yes. It goes. So my wife's a dancer.
Oh, cool.
So it's very, very cool. But she's bang into the musical theatre.
Yeah.
So it ping pongs between like I might be playing Cream in the shower or listening to like I don't know, probably loads of Elton John, bit of John Mayer, and then I'll go in the living room and you'll hear something from some old school musical theatre thing, bit of Judy Garland. So,
keeps it
all kinds.
eclectic. It's good.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, are you doing any live streams now that you can't get out and do gigs, or?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying those. I had to stop. This is my first little bit back. I sliced my thumb open a couple of weeks ago.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was really bad, and I was like all strapped up. So I've only just kind of took the dressing off, and I'm like, you know, trying to kind of play again.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to do any lives, and I've been really rubbish at social media. So I've just been like, let me go and meditate in a room and be quiet for a couple of weeks. And
it can be quite exhausting, I think.
Yeah, and even when you're not doing something, you feel like you should be.
Yeah, 100%.
So I gave myself a little break. But yeah, I'm going to be getting back on that. I want to do some. Do you know what I want to do? I want to do like a little. You heard it here first. I want to do like a fun little series of videos. I don't know what that is yet.
Okay.
So if anyone has any ideas, chuck them out.
What do you think you miss most musically at the moment?
What, being in
part of the process? Yeah.
Playing live.
Yeah.
I honestly, I miss the audience. And it doesn't matter if it's like one person or 10,000 people. To be in a room playing to somebody and getting that energy back, it's the reason why I do it. It's the reason why I pick up a guitar and play. And not having that is just,
so hard.
it really hurts. Yeah. Because you can do all the other stuff. You can record at home, you can write at home, you can even do the streams, which is amazing, and I really love that. And it has been an awesome like experience for people to kind of have a connection to you in this sort of time, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But just to be able to see the whites of their eyes, you know, and are they feeling this? All right, maybe if I try this, and you know, it's that little. I don't know. I miss it. Really miss it.
Well, hopefully we can be back doing that really soon. Taking yourself back though to when you were playing gigs, is there a favourite venue that you love playing?
Yeah. Yes, Vin's Night In at
Oh,
the H
amazing.
Club,
Yeah.
Covent Garden. Vin is one of the most amazing human beings I've ever met. We've known each other for years now.
Yeah.
Because we both used to host at the Bedford as well. Because Vin's Night In started at the Bedford in Balham, and when I was a comedian, I used to host shows there. We've known each other for years and years and years. And actually, I was playing a gig in New York, and I looked at the door, and in walks Vin and his husband Mark.
That's so weird.
What? How? You know, fancy, yeah. And watched the show, and we went out for dinner afterwards. And
Nice.
Do you know what? It was weird because I was out of my depth in that gig, and then he was there, and he's one of those angels that you just meet, you know, in life that just kind of makes you feel good whenever you're there with them.
Yeah.
And that show, I feel like he does that for the audience. The audience is in such a nice place. They just trust that he's got them, and anything's possible from that point.
There's something quite safe about it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like being in. It's like he's invited you into his home.
Yeah, so nice, so nice. We chat a lot, and we tend to recommend artists both ways, if that makes sense. So it's always quite nice.
Right.
Like Vin's been on the show, so yeah, it's always good.
He's great, isn't he?
Yeah, he's so great. So if you could collaborate with anyone in this dream venue at Vin's night, who would it be?
If I could collaborate with anyone.
Yeah.
Is this like anyone dead or alive?
Anyone dead or alive. They could be up and coming, megastar, superstar, at this dream venue, at your dream gig.
Oh God, I don't know. That's
big question.
Putting me on the spot. I mean, I'd love to put. I mean, I always have this daydream in the shower, or like when I'm laying in bed, of singing with Elton John. But you know, that's like a bucket list moment. But I mean, there's.
You keep mentioning.
Do you know what I like?
Sorry.
The what?
You keep mentioning Elton John in the shower.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, it just takes me back to the good old days. No, he's no Elton. Yeah, Elton's great, but I feel like, do you know what? I love collaborating with artists. If I've done a gig and I see someone that I think is really great,
yeah.
I'll always reach out and say, do you want to get together and do some writing? Because I feel like that's kind of how you get better, and you kind of spread yourself out a little bit, and you figure out. Seeing how someone else that's writing, especially someone that you kind of respect, when you see what they're doing, it kind of makes you think about what you're doing in a little different angle, and I feel like that's really good for like a musician, any kind of artistic person, to mix your stuff with other people. So whenever I do a show with an up and coming artist that I think is great, I'd always reach out and say, let's collaborate, let's do something. And I did a couple of in Christmas. I did a gig, actually a Spins gig again.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of singers who I've written with, Flo Smart, who's great, and Ellie Rose.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'd written a couple of songs with them, and they kind of came on as like a guest slot.
I think we were there actually.
Yeah. You were. That was,
I think that's probably where we met, to be fair.
yeah. Good show.
Yeah.
I was so drunk after that. I don't even know how I got home. Like, I just woke up like.
It's the whole being at Vin's house thing. You don't think about how you're going to get home. You're just at Vin's house. It's fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but Vin on the after me would be fun.
Yeah, exactly. So you're doing this collaboration with Elton John at Vin's Night In, obviously. And you can have your dream rider. Elton John's obviously gone all out and getting whatever he normally gets before a gig. But what would you get?
A dream rider.
Yeah.
Christ. I don't know. Just like a load of old vinyl.
Okay.
Really. Yeah, like some old. I don't know. I want like a rare old BB King vinyl or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
No one's ever said that before, surprisingly. It's quite a good answer.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like a Christmas present, isn't it? Get me a Christmas present and I'll play your gig.
Yeah. So, what can we expect from you next? What are you working on at the moment?
Mixing the album.
Okay.
Which is taking time because mixes come through and we all listen to them on different speakers and we can't be in the same room, and so it's like back and forth. The documentary is in talks, getting distribution stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be launching the documentary, getting the album out.
So loads of stuff.
And gig. Yeah, plenty going on.
Okay. And if people want to find out more about Taxi Joe, where can they go? What can they do?
You can find our website, taxijoe.co.uk, or we do lots of Instagram. So Taxi Joe UK on Instagram, all one word. Facebook, Taxi Joe UK. We're on Spotify. We've got a couple of singles on there, but the album will be on there hopefully by the end of the year. Sorry?
I said we're looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, me too. I can't wait to hear it, because obviously it's just like, I don't like to listen to it too much, because otherwise it, like, if it isn't mixed yet, like you end up falling in love with like the monitor mix, and then it's like, I don't know. I'm just waffling now. I'm just really excited to be talking to another human being.
Hey. Well, thank you so much for coming in to the studio.
Thank you.
On Zoom. And hopefully we'll be able to do this in person shortly, at some point in life.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you so much for having me. It's been awesome.
You got his face in your purse. I saw you first. Made you laugh, you say come do your worst. I know I made your heart go, but I wonder how far though. There's gotta be some kind of payoff for all my bravado. You're sure searching for something, but I think you need something else. Cause you've been with the guy who won't make your eye, cause he lied about where he's been. And you wasted your tears and trying to get near, cause he doesn't want to let you in. Yeah, you served your time on the one that makes you feel bad about yourself. Oh, and you deserve better, and I'm still here, so call me when you want a little bit of something else. Little bit of something else. You need something else. Little bit of something else. Tell me your pain. You say you're okay, but you bite your nails if I say his name once. Oh, and I know the next one is just like the last one. You find out who he is in a couple of months. Oh, you're searching for something, but I think you need something else. Cause you've been with the guy who won't make your eye, cause he lied about where he's been. And you wasted your tears on trying to get near, cause he doesn't want to let you in. Yeah, you served your time with the one that makes you feel bad about yourself. Oh, well, you deserve better, and I'm still here, so call me when you want a little bit of something else. Little bit of just waiting. It's just a case of when Buddy says all the right things. We start it all again. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on. 'Cause you've been with the guy who won't meet your eye, 'cause he lied about where he's been. And you wasted your tears in trying to get near, 'cause he doesn't want to let you in. Then you serve your time with the one that makes you feel bad about yourself.